our first speaker should be Professor Ebner. I think he is around. He's also a very recognized expert in educational technology and technology-enhanced learning from Graz University of Technology. And I know they have been doing in Austria a lot of things already on it. He has served as the head of the Department of Educational Technology. So that's really in the education, Dean of Study for Teacher Educations now. So yeah, we look forward on how he sees how this innovative AI technologies tools can help us for modern teaching. So Martin, can I invite you to share your presentation in Teams? Although I know you rather work in Zooms, but yeah.
But you can hear me, or everything is fine?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, first of all, thank you for the invitation, of course. The second thing is I will put in the chat some links because I will talk about that, and it's maybe helpful if you have the links, because sometimes I have German screenshots, sorry for that, but the links are all in English, so you just feel free to use them. Yeah, then I try to give my... this one. So take a look if it works. It should be now.
There's something coming.
Yeah. So you can see something? No?
No, for the time being, it's a black line.
Okay, then I will try again. I will share my whole screen, yeah, and maybe this is better. So.
Yeah, now I see myself on the screen.
Oh, that's good. That's a good sign. Okay, that's a good sign. And now that's my presentation. Yeah, you see my presentation?
Yes, we see it.
Yeah.
It's not that. Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah. So very shortly, I was asked to talk a little bit about AI and teaching at my university as well as in Austria, but I guess it's better I tell you what we are currently doing at Graz Technology, University of Technology. We have some pilot projects and maybe also some best practices, what can be the future, and what are we doing to build the competencies and literacy for the staff, for the students, as well as for the lecturers, for example. Yeah, just very short, the background, my university. So you can, this is the headquarter, of course, the main building. And my university have about 4,000 employees, you see, and we have about 14,000 or 13,000 regular students from 7 faculties. And these faculties are all technical related. So that means electrical engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, computer science as well. In summary, nearly 100 institutes, and we have three campus locations here in Graz. Graz is located in Austria, the second biggest city, and we are about 250 kilometers in the south of Vienna. Yeah, myself, I'm located in the Vice Director for Academic Affairs, and I'm the Department of so-called Educational Technology. And we, of course, related or strongly related to AI in education, and we are of course doing all the stuff, providing that for teachers and something like that. So that is my organizational unit who have to take care about that. Yeah, the first thing what we have done, it's nearly, I guess, 2.5 years ago. Of course, we did, I guess, as many universities, we introduced the guideline of the rectorate. Yeah, so the guideline, of course, in general, it says how you can use AI in your lecturing and what you can do, for example. And in general, we decided that the course instructors, the lecturers itself decide on the use of AI. So in the before the lecture starts, he or she has just to say it's permitted, it's not permitted, and in general it's not allowed unless it is specified you can use it as student, for example. And that is a very, I would so to speak, open guideline, as a very open. So that means we are not restricting. If the lecturer just said, yeah, AI is a very good thing for me, then he is allowed to use it as well as the students. Yeah, this is just a screenshot here of the strategy what we developed. I guess what is much more interesting is this one here. We introduced a new extended program. So really a program for students as well as for staff members who has done a study at our university, as well as also our former students. Yeah, they can go since nearly a week. I guess it was started on 1st of October to a new extended program. And this program means it's called Artificial Intelligence Engineering, and it just lasts 2 semesters. It's about 34 degrees. Yeah, so you really earn credits. It's also university lectures, of course, and as academic degree, you get a final certificate of our university. And the idea of this extended program is that all other students who are not computer science students can do that, for example, and put it as additional competence, as an additional literacy to their current study. So if I would be, for example, a civil engineer, I'm studying civil engineering, I can additional book this extended program. And then I get also the skills in AI engineering. And the idea is that we there bring the AI into the field, into the topic of other technical studies, of course. The language is English. That is quite typical for my university. And that you see, for example, how are these courses sorted. We have two so-called obligatory modules. The first module A is not on my screen, is Foundations of Computer Science. So it's just 12 credits, and about a little more than 20 credits is the foundation of AI. And you see that there's lectures on AI, machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning, ethical, legal, and social aspects of AI. And in the end, each student have to do a seminar project on artificial intelligence engineering. Yeah, so he or she has to go into the field back and make an AI-related project. I have one example, for example, here on my screen. It's a generative AI used in computational architectural design. So if a student of architecture is doing this extended program, then he or she can, for example, do such a kind of project in the end. And that is the idea, so how we would like to give on a very broad thing. So we are not integrating directly in the field of study AI, because in our opinion is that it's not really possible, because you need all these competencies on machine learning, deep learning, reinforcement learning, that you understand what AI is really doing and how you can use it in your field of study. Yeah, that is just the link to it. Yeah, and I put it also in the chat in English. There you can take a look. There is the curriculum, the plan of the semester, for example, and further information. And you see the first event was in September already. And as far as I know, on the 1st of October, it was started already. And it is done by the computer science faculty. So the lecturers are computer scientists, and they are doing the lecturing for the whole university for the other related field of studies. That is a very broad thing what we have done. For example, on a not so high level, we have also thought how we can very fast transfer the knowledge to our teachers as well as our students, and we call it internally the so-called education project. So we try to educate our teachers as well as staff, of course, about educational technology, and that is this word telocation, for example. I have also put the link in the chat, and there we are doing different kinds of hands-on FAQs, chatbots, whatever, podcasts to just you can get a feeling as a teacher, what is the current situation, how can I deal with something. What have we done there, for example? We find contributions in didactics, of course, higher education, video animation. We are providing different kind of tools, and there is a lot of handouts for our learning management system. It's called Teach Center, and we have an own podcast from our university, where a lecturer tells other lecturers what is a good examples, very well practices and something like that. Yeah, and what of course we have done very fast was prompt engineering, so that also our staff and teachers can hopefully easily learn also how to make a good prompt and what is good prompting, for example. And therefore we have not only a handout, we developed a so-called prompting school. And the prompting school, it's also in the link in the chat. So you can try it for free. It's there is no costing behind. Is the idea that you learn in several steps what is a good prompt, for example. And the what we are doing in the background, you're really trying it out. You provide us a prompt, and we are just saying, okay, that's a good prompt, or no, that is a bad prompt, and what you can do, for example, better. And the idea is that you see in this prompting school just learning good prompts for the purpose, for a different context, whatever. And we have also rolled out this prompting school for school children as well as for students, but also for our staff. And what you see in the chat, for example, is the English version, and in the background, of course, an AI is working. That means also we are sending your prompt to an AI, and the AI, of course, assess your prompt and gives you feedback how this prompt is. And that was the idea on a very low level and a fast level that we can how we can learn, for example, prompting. Yeah, that is just also a feedback in the orange box. For example, you should try to make this prompt, and you get a feedback. Yeah, then what is very important, of course, was always the topic assessment in times of AI. What does this mean? And the first thing is that we more or less stopped all online assessments at home. So currently, our clear suggestion is if you do assessment, the best way is, of course, do it in the lecture room, do it oral ones and not written ones. And if you need computer-based, for example, then you should use as safeguarding examination format, for example, because we know now Moodle GPT, for example, you can install that for free, and Moodle GPT is able to answer any assessment in the Moodle very successful, so to speak. Yeah, so it's you can automate all your Moodle assessments very simple with this kind of plugin. And of course, that is not the idea of an assessment. Therefore, we say, okay, we try to inform all our teachers about is Moodle GPT, what can students doing with that, and that means if you really would like to make an examination and assessment in the end, then you have to be safe. And we, for example, using, of course, Safe Exam browser for that, and that was installed in our from the IT department in our computer rooms, and therefore you can do an online assessment if it is necessary. Yeah, what we have done on the next level, that is also very fresh, but sorry, that's only, I guess, available in German, that we also make an online course about generative AI. And there we explain what is generative AI, of course, which kind of tools, also how you can use it, for example, and why is it so important. So also typically also the ethical issues or something, what is the problem with AI, the bias and something like that. And this kind of online course is currently online and running since 1.5 weeks. We have 1,000 participants, and they get trained in the terms of AI, and the target group is clearly teachers, people who are not so many involved in AI and something like that. So it's a really starter course, yeah. So it's not very sophisticated. It's just also the idea to tell all what is AI and why it is so important and what you should generally know when you are talking about generative AI. Yeah, then we have two issues. So because of the time, I cannot go in very details. We have, of course, internal trainings formats. So we have the so-called teaching academy, and at the teaching academy, we just make all the lectures for our lecturers, where we have, of course, courses on AI, also use of AI, how you can use it from a didactical point of view, and some tools training, so to speak. That is what you can internally book, for example. So it's typically a half a day or a full day workshop where you get some new insights how you can use AI for your teaching and learning scenarios. Yeah, and the second thing is also to come more along innovation projects, because we already see that the use of AI changes the way also how we teach or how we can teach. For example, the Vice Rector of Academic Affairs always give projects. We are funded yearly, also annually. That means I think 10,000, 15,000 euros annually, and you can hand in a project, for example, from as a lecturer, and then said, okay, I would like to use this kind of money for an very innovative teaching scenario. And yeah, today, also last year, all the funded project are AI related. So nowadays the teachers are just have the idea to bring in a different ways AI, and most of the teachers are coming from the computer science faculty. That means, of course, they have the most ideas how what they can now do, for example, with AI. We are as organizational unit are responsible to supervise them and to give them maybe help in terms of hardware or something like that. And of course, we have also making as a summaries. We just try to learn from them, and also to maybe create a service out of that, yeah, to say, okay, also other teachers now get also this kind of service because it was a product of the last project of last year. Yeah, and finally, I can give you some outlook as of what we are currently working on, for example. Very interesting is for us, we are working in very thematical areas. So as in terms of civil engineering, for example, you see on the left side a picture, and we try to assist with a chatbot the students, can you solve that, for example? So in solving this kind of, so we are just, the AI is reading this picture and going step by step through as the calculations, and students can use them to train for the, or to prepare for the assessment, of course, and that works quite well. So we trained the chatbot concerning these pictures, for example. It was, I guess, all the assessment examples of the last 10 years or whatever. And on the right side, you see when the chatbot is working for the homework for the students, and so they can really control what they are doing, and it is the right or wrong way. Then we are currently working heavily on we would like to support our teachers or instructors with so-called course description. One of our greatest problems at the university is that our lectures are not described in an appropriate way. That means there is sometimes learning goals missing, there is sometimes the learning format missing, there is something the assessment method missing. And what we have done, we trained now a chatbot, what is a very, very good course description, for example, which criteria you should met as a teacher, for example. And then you can just choose your lecturer. The chatbot tries to analyze your current description of your course, and then he gives feedback to you according to the criterias, yeah, and say, okay, that's already very good. It's a traffic light system, red, green, and yellow. And he helps also in improving this kind of course description. That's the idea. And then the teachers should be able to copy the final product again to the campus management system. Also, this is an ongoing project. So we currently are developing the chatbot, and we are quite far. And the idea is in this winter term that we make the way possible. So that means also in February typically starts this course description phase for the lecturers, and then we should be finishing, and hopefully then they can use also this kind of AI tool. Yeah. And finally, we are also currently integrating so-called AI tutors, student assistants. So that means the students. And our idea is that we like to train students, and these students should be then able to support our lecturers and instructors. So the idea is that the instructor, the lecturer, can say, okay, I have an idea. I would like to transfer to more AI related things. And then we can give them or her just a student assistant, and he or she can do that, for example. This was firstly developed by the University of Technology in Munich, also in Germany, and they get us this training course already, and we implemented it in our university, and currently we are beginning to start this pilot project phase with, I guess, 5 or 6 students currently, and we have to see as how it, for example, works. So that the idea is really and support for our instructors that they really can get a very good AI-related lecture. Yeah, that was the end. Hopefully I was in time. I don't know because my screen is full, but I'm happy to answer also questions. Yeah, so I try to end.
Okay,
the
thank
screen
you,
sharing.
Martin, for your really, yeah, you have a lot of initiatives that you shared, and I think it will also, the links will be very helpful. And I must say, I personally like your AI tutors. This new thing is something that we should think also, I think, to pick up, because it's student for students.